Howdy folks, Big Anklevich here. It is day 15 of the November Carnivore Challenge. That is halfway through. We're doing it here in the awesome autumn. And we're heading straight into those daily videos here on Big Anklevich on Health. Okay, so how did it go today? Well, I got up first thing in the morning, and I'm talking first thing. I have that AM schedule, so even on weekends I can't sleep late. Like 5 o'clock in the morning is really late for me. So I got up a little earlier than that, like 4:30, and I was out the door and walking. I was in the dark walking for most of my walk, although the sun came up before I was done, and I got to walk a little bit on the trails. But yeah, I got 16,000 steps in today, which is pretty good. That was a good number. When I got back from my walk, I had my first meal of the day, which was a pound of ground beef. But I kind of screwed up. I probably shouldn't have done this, but I did. I went with my wife grocery shop, and we started doing this thing where we go early, as early as we can, because it's way less crowded that way. It only worked sort of today because we took a little while before we leave. We went to Costco right after it opened, but we were more like a half hour after it opened, and we got in there and we were walking around, and it's nice. Costco is usually really crowded on a Saturday, but it wasn't. And we get to the snack bar part as we were about to leave, and it's so empty that, like most weeks, if we get to the snack bar and we order something, we would have to sit there and wait for like 20 minutes as we go through all the orders that they've got, because there's so many people just crowded in there. But when we get there that early, not a big deal. So I was like, should I get a hot dog? And my wife's like, sure, yeah, go for it. I probably shouldn't have. I mean, the hot dogs are beef hot dogs, so technically I didn't cheat, but that's BS. It's BS. I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. It is extra calories that I shouldn't be eating, but hopefully it won't kick me in the nards too hard, because I know that I shouldn't have done it, and I won't do it again, and I swear I will be good. But yeah, I did that. I had a hot dog. It was empty enough in there that I could actually go up to the guy and say, hey, with the hot dog order, can you make sure it comes with no bun? So I didn't even have to scrape the bun that sticks to the hot dog, which usually happens. So, I mean, that was cool. I don't even know how many calories one of those hot dogs is. I'd probably say a couple hundred calories, maybe 200 calories or something, maybe more. I didn't, obviously I didn't have the bun or any sauerkraut or relish or anything on it. But yeah, I shouldn't have done it. Later, when I got home, I had my second meal. I had another pound of ground beef, and that was my food for the day. So all in all, I was pretty good, but not perfect. I had, 4 perfect days or something like that, but this one wasn't quite. It was close enough, but not quite. I'm going to be better tomorrow. I swear it will be done.
I swear it will be done.
All right, folks. Let's go see what Marshall's doing.
Hey, carnivores. Marshall Latham here on day number 15 of I almost said Knocktober, of November. And yeah, it's the middle of the month. How am I doing? Doing pretty good. I had, didn't eat till later in the day. I had 3 hamburgers. I was gonna cook up scrambled eggs with something in it, but my wife said she wanted to have some hamburgers, so I just cooked up a bunch of them. I had 3 hamburgers. I think she had 2 hamburgers with some eggs, which was pretty cool. And I think there was a couple left over, so probably use those up in the coming week. And then later on in the day, I did have an egg. I kind of did it backwards. I had an egg bake for dinner. But I did have some summer sausage, cut a few slices of that, 4 or 5 slices of that. I did a little bit of cheese with that. So that was kind of my midday snack, I guess. And that was it for eating. For walking, I'm getting creative again. So once in a while it falls on us to clean up our church building. And so we were part of the crew that was helping clean the church today. So I vacuumed all the classrooms on one side of the building. And so I walked along and vacuumed everything. And then I also, we did the chapel as well, which was kind of a lot of back and forth. And then I also there's a gymnasium in the middle. And I dry mopped that. So I walked back and forth several times along the basketball court there doing that. So I counted that for my walk. I was actually kind of not tired, but I felt that I had done something. I had to sit down for a little bit after doing all that. But so I'm counting that as my exercise, as my walk. And that was in the morning. And it was a pretty good day. A lot of little stuff going on. That's it. I feel like I'm doing pretty good, other than I haven't been fasting much. So I don't know what that's going to do, but we'll find out. And I'll let you know that later on. All right. Thanks and bye.
All right, Marshall, way to go. That's a good job. I like the creative use of the walk-in. You gotta get your walking in wherever you can. That's the thing about exercise. Up until what, like 100 years ago, people didn't exercise. Exercise wasn't a thing that we did. Life was exercise. Like you had to work on your farm or work at your job was physical, manual, strenuous labor. Everything that you did was exercise, and so people just got it. It was just natural. And nowadays, we've become so sedentary because of the way we've changed the world that we don't get that stuff, and you gotta find a way. And if you can work it into your regular life, I think that's the best way to do it. If you can do it that way. And like I was saying the other day, though, I think you should, just track your steps. I don't know if your phone does that, but easy. It probably does. And if it doesn't, like automatically, you could probably just get an app that will have it do that for you. And then you can just, know how many steps you took and know if that was enough, know if you need to do more. And you can improve that way. Like I was saying, you gotta measure if you want to improve. Just a suggestion. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Big Anklevich on Health.